The thing that attracted me to the project was the kind of Russian doll-like smuggling of stories within stories within stories, you know, and that you can have a horror film that lives inside a thriller, that lives inside a romance movie, and these aren't contradictions, you know. They kind of, and they're all enjoyable in their own ways, and you kind of move through that during the experience of the movie. And what I really liked about the script and the book was that Du Maurier had a scheme, you know, which was to smuggle in something quite sinister inside the wrapping of something that on the first look looks like a romantic story, you know. And so I can imagine her kind of chuckling as she's writing this thing, going, people are going to think that it's about a woman who falls in love with this guy and like their incredible life, but what it actually is going to be is something really dark and disturbing. This book still resonates with audiences because because of the games that Du Maurier plays with your heart, you know. As you watch it, you're dragged in one direction, then thrown in another, and it's like I feel like that sometimes in modern kind of storytelling, people are a bit mean with story. You know, they don't give you much story. It's like they spread it out really thin, like gruel. But Du Maurier's got tons of it, and there's tons and tons of story in this, and tons of emotion. The second Mrs. De Winter role is very difficult. You know, it's a very skilled role. She's got to play. There's a lot of fear and a lot of paranoia, but that can edge into being, you know, onto the other side of that, which is like annoying, you know, or kind of too needy. So she's trying to play the strength across the whole thing is a very difficult thing, you know. And also and then she's in the situation of having to do it in all loads of different locations all over the place, so the actual schedule of the whole thing is all split up, so it's like to track that role across all those different days is very, very difficult, and they needed someone with the kind of range and strength of Lily James to do that. Army I've worked with before on a film called Free Fire, so I knew him, you know. I had more of a personal connection to him because I knew him pretty well. And the thing with Army is like he's, you know, the whole kind of performance side of it, again, it's like a given that he's like a really great actor, but he's a kind of odd throwback to a kind of 1940s, 1950s kind of heartthrob, I think. One of the great things about about going out on Netflix is it'll be seen by a lot of people, and that's, you know, it's one of the, as much as I like making indie movies, you know, the making of stuff to be seen by people is the whole point, you know, and to get out to as many people as possible. And I think this is probably the way of getting to the most people, especially as everyone's imprisoned in their houses at the moment. They have no choice but to watch this film.